In a quiet town, a teenage girl vanished without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and shattered hearts. Join us as we delve into the mystery of Wendy Hudakoc's disappearance, a story of innocence lost, secrets buried, and a family's unwavering search for the truth. Get ready to uncover the chilling details of a case that has haunted a community for nearly 2 decades. This is more than just a story. It's a quest for closure and justice. In 1995, the Hudakoc family relocated from Canada to Naples, Florida, where they resided for 3 years until their youngest daughter vanished without a trace. On the evening of November 15, 1998, 14-year-old Wendy Hudakoc's mother, Shelley, and her stepfather, Dan Campbell, were attending a seminar in Tampa, approximately 2 hours away from their Naples home. Dan's colleague was entrusted with looking after Wendy, Charlene, and their close friend Shauna at the family residence. Around 9 p.m., Wendy received a mysterious phone call inviting her to a party in town. Despite her attempts to persuade the others to join her, both Charlene and Shauna declined to sneak out. Undeterred, Wendy, known for her rebellious nature, decided to go alone. Taking only her stepfather's pager, she assured Charlene that she would return home or call within 10 minutes. At 11 p.m., Wendy quietly slipped out of her bedroom window, leaving a candle burning on the sill, and disappeared into the passenger seat of a blue 1991 Mazda. The next morning, Charlene entered Wendy's room to wake her, only to be met with an empty room with a bed still made, the window still open, and the candle still burning on the sill. Immediately, she paged Wendy over and over again, but sadly, never received a response. Wendy had run away in the past, but Charlene just knew something was different this time. In a full-blown panic, she phoned her parents, painfully telling them that Wendy was missing. They rushed home and began the long and aching search for their daughter. 1 month before her disappearance, Wendy met a man named Ronald DePeppo at a local bowling alley. They hit it off and began hanging out right away. Wendy kept it a secret, of course, as Ronald DePeppo was 20 years old. Knowing his past, he had a big interest in underage girls. Her family didn't know about Ronald until he called their home one day while she was at school. Dan answered the phone like any other phone call. Police eventually figured out the mysterious caller on that night was Ronald DePeppo after speaking to attendees at the party. They all claimed to have seen Wendy and Ronald arriving together and leaving together between 2 a.m. and 2:30 a.m. The cops brought Ronald into the Collier County Police Station for questioning. Ronald alleged that although they initially left together, Wendy received a page shortly after and requested him to stop at the Hess gas station near Davis and Airport Ard, where she used the payphone. Upon returning to the car, she informed him she was meeting someone named Jeff and instructed him to drop her off at her front yard. He complied, dropping her off at 2:45 a.m., then proceeded directly to his friend Johnny Walker's house. Ronald asserted that this was his first time hanging out with Wendy. However, 17-year-old Johnny Walker, a registered sex offender, offered a conflicting account. He informed authorities that Ronald didn't arrive at his house until 9 a.m. that morning, at which point Ronald claimed to have spent the night with a girl named Wendy. Walker insisted he didn't know Wendy and had never met her. Additionally, Ronald's girlfriend at the time, Becky, was questioned and disclosed that Ronald had urged her to lie and claim he had spent the night with her, an evident attempt at a weak alibi. 2 weeks after Wendy was last seen, on December 1st, Ronald's blue 1991 Mazda went up in flames. His reasoning for the fire was a stray cigarette butt he had flung out the window, which must have flown into the back seat and lit up a pair of jeans. The remains of the car were searched, and a hammer was found in the trunk. The head of the hammer had hair fibers still attached to it, but the evidence was too damaged for DNA testing. Ronald claims Johnny flicked the cigarette. Johnny claims Ronald did. DePeppo quickly earned himself the title of the #1 suspect, and Walker was right behind him, being named a person of interest. At some point in the investigation, Dan had enough and went to Ronald's house himself to confront him. He walked past Ronald's burned-to-a-crisp car and right up to him, where he was smoking a cigarette. He asked Ronald for any information, to which he stated, "The bitch probably didn't come home," and "The bitch probably went out with some other kids," clearly not worried about her. Over time, Ronald began to show signs of a mental break. His dangerous and destructive behaviors escalated into throwing bricks with notes tied to them through business windows. Most of the writing was biblical chicken scratch, but one note stood out to law enforcement. "Wendy will be coming home soon." The narratives provided by each party, as well as the conflicting accounts from DePeppo and Walker, failed to align. In 2018, Johnny Walker, now residing in Ruskin, Florida as a repeat sexual predator, offered another interview. He claimed to have a close acquaintance with Wendy, asserting that she and Ronald had been dating for a few weeks. This contradicts his earlier statements to the police 2 decades ago, when he denied knowing her or ever going out together. Ronald has undergone several interviews, with the most recent occurring in 2018. However, he evades questions and exhibits signs of cognitive dissonance, proclaiming himself as a disciple of God through whom divine communication flows. He fervently believes Wendy will imminently return home. Despite the glaring inconsistencies, suspicious behaviors, and apparent knowledge of Wendy's whereabouts and fate, Ronald DePeppo roams freely on the streets of Nevada. He maintains an active presence on social media platforms like Facebook, sharing perplexing and disconcerting videos and images of himself, often accompanied by lengthy, cryptic passages predominantly centered around biblical themes. Wendy's mother died of cancer in 2013, never knowing the fate of her daughter. Wendy's body has never been found. As Wendy's story continues to unfold, it's a poignant reminder of the enduring pain and unanswered questions that families like hers face every day. If Wendy's story resonated with you, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with more compelling narratives. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your insights could help shed light on this mystery and bring closure to Wendy's loved ones. And if you found this video informative or thought-provoking, please give it a like. Your support means the world to us. Anyone with information on the disappearance of Wendy Hudakoc is asked to call the Collier County Sheriff's Office at 239-252-9300 or Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers. Thank you for watching and for joining us on this journey of discovery and remembrance.